Hello everyone, I'm sorry I wasn't really able to do the unboxing vid I promised I'd do, but I'm still able to do a review on the base, and it only feels right to start with the first UX bay Drawn Buster. It is a really solid bay with major inbounds, as you can see right here. 160 is, and it has this one major point of contact. Can never forget that. It's the whole gimmick of a bay, to be honest. Next is 160. 160, debatably one of the best rackets for attack in the game. Has good weight distribution. It's good for counterattacks, etc., etc. It's pretty much the best racket in the entire game, that aside from 360, 960, and 560. And now for the bit Excel. It's really not good. It doesn't connect to the extreme line too well. It doesn't have good surface area. There's just this bit just sucks. And now for a test launch. 3, 2, 1, go. And that's Ron Buster. Next member of Team Persona is O's Hammer. It's a mediocre bay, to say the least. 370, like Senki said, 70 heights stock are pretty self-bursty. They don't, the bits are pretty loose in them, and all that fun stuff. O's Hammer, it's a decent blade. It does have that mold. It has that issue with the left spin, but not this mold, because this mold was fixed. But yeah, as I was saying, O's Hammer is a really light blade, and it isn't really too good for making those good smash attacks that it's meant to do. But Hexa, on the other hand, it's generally the best bit for defense. It has good stamina. It's able to dish out good counterattacks because it's meant to ride the extreme line, and it's a 16 gear bit. What else? And it's also able to hold its position almost just as well as High Needle can. But it is. And it has a good resistor, which makes it harder to burst. Hex is even used on some of the greatest defense combos out there right now, like Wizard Rod, Silver Wolf, etc. Anyways, moving on. Now we're moving on to UX03 Wizard Rod. Disc Ball is just trash. It doesn't really have the best performance. It's far too high, to be honest, which allows bays to easily snipe it. Its racket 570 is actually a pretty solid 70 height. It has good weight distribution, and because it's so blocky, it's a lot harder to burst. What else was I saying? Oh, and Wizard Rod. The blade is amazing, to be honest. I honestly don't really like using Wizard Rod because I just don't like to go with whatever everyone else is using, but it is still a really solid blade. Good weight distribution, good defense, good stamina. It literally is the best blade in the game. And moving on to the next defense type of Team Persona, Nightmail. Okay, we're going to start off with bounce spike, so moving fat. Wait, no. Yeah. Bounce spike is a really solid. Oh wait, I'll do battles after I'm done showing. Sorry, I forgot. But Nightmail, its stock combo isn't really too solid. Bounce spike, it lacks that necessary endgame stamina you need. 385 is easy to snipe, and plus it's the lightest threshold out at the moment. I'm sure 455 will be lighter when Wizard Arc comes out, but Nightmail. That blade is incredible for smash attacks. It's just, I honestly don't know how to put it. I haven't been able to use it in a tournament yet, but it is the best blade. Well, one of the best blades for attack rats, aside from stuff like Draw and Buster. And moving on, we now have one of my newer bays, which actually just arrived this week. Samurai Saber. Level. Okay, starting off with the Ratchet 270. It's just garbage. Two-sided ratchets suck a lot. They're really, and like I said earlier, the 70 heights are really self-bursty. Like if you use 270, you'll probably self-burst last second. Samurai Saber. It is a really, I honestly haven't done too much testing on it yet, but it is a pretty solid blade. Good contact points, fun gimmick. I don't think anyone has been really using Samurai Saber in competitive all that much, so. But I still suggest getting it because it comes with a hold launcher and a good ripcord, which is slightly longer than the standard ripcord. Plus you get a fun launcher out of it. And level, I honestly don't really remember which part is which, but there's different levels as the namesake. The jagged part is, I assume, the slowest part from what I've seen. The middle part is medium speed, and the center part is the most aggressive out of those parts. Alright, and with my most recent battles, I've mainly been using the hold launcher. I love using this thing. Anyways, moving on to the two bays that came with the Nightmail set. Where are my bits? Okay, there they are. The Nightmail set came with some of the three really solid bits. Rush it. It's a really hard part to get at the moment, as it only comes in that Hasbro Stadium set, and we haven't really gotten that Hasbro Green Wizard Rod yet, which will come with a green variant of Rush. Point, one of the debatably one of the best bits for bounce type combos. Good stamina, good offense, etc., etc. It's basically like flat, but better with stamina. And Metal Needle. You do not want to use this, it will dent your stadium. Okay, now to move on to the blades. Tyranno Beat. It is a really solid blade. If good offensive and capabilities, but it's mainly used on balance type combos. 160 I already went over this, but it's one of the best bit ratchets for attack. And Rubber XL, which is the first rubber bit in Beyblade X, and I think it's going to be the only one because Rubber XL wasn't really taken too lightly. It doesn't really have good stamina, and it can't really get that good flower pattern off without connecting with extreme line. Plus, it dies off way too quickly before it can get off those powerful attacks. But it also has that ridge like Elevate does, which does keep the rubber from wearing down, but I don't really suggest using Rubber XL all that much. Yeah, give me a sec. Next is Talentera. It is an echo of Vipertail. I don't own the original, but the shapes are pretty much the same. I think Talentera just has different weight distribution. 770 is a new part, but it's actually another solid 70 height. Like, I think 570 and 770 are really the only good 70 heights. You would still be better off using the 60 heights. And ball. There's not really too much to say. It doesn't have a thick resistor like the offensive bits have. But it does have good stamina compared to disc ball. And has better surface area than a bit like disc ball. Okay, moving on to already did you guys. Oh right, I forgot Ghost Circle. This is personally one of my favorite bays at the moment. Its blade is even though it's like 26 grams, it's actually a really solid blade. It's good for attack deflection. Its compact shape allows it to stay in, but if you get knocked into a knockout zone, then you're basically screwed, as it's just gets stuck in there. Right, other parts. Here, this is 0880. The surprisingly first is zero ratchet in the game, although it technically isn't a zero-sided ratchet since it still has these free points like 360 does. But overall, it's a pretty decent ratchet, and I suggest Gank Ghost Circle. And Gear Ball. It's like a ball, but it's meant to ride the extreme line. But considering how Gear Ball is, it tends to self-burst a lot. So if you ever plan on Gank Ghost Circle, I plan on replacing Gear Ball for something like Exit. And Gear Ball doesn't have as good surface area as Ball does because the gears are interfering. But yeah, I suggest replacing Gear Ball with something like Hexa. It will have better stamina, better surface area, so on and so forth. And now for Chrome Ryu, Goose Space, Cobalt Drake, and Cobalt Dragoon. Yeah, sorry if I haven't tagged the base in frame all that much. I'm recording on my phone as I always do, but starting with Cobalt Dragoon. I don't have Drake, but sorry. It's a really solid blade. It's mainly used in spin equalizing combos, but it's also really solid for attack. 260. It's like 272 points of contact at the 60 height. Different performance since it's doing left spin, and now for the, but I don't suggest using 260, but now for Cyclone, it's like Rush with slow and controlled movement, but at the same time, it's also more slightly different in performance than Rush. It like has less stamina, but is also more aggressive. But like Rush, it's able to slowly ride the extreme line despite having 12 gears instead of like 8 like Rush has. And for my last noob, Impact Drake. What do I have? It's an incredibly solid bay. The rubber contact isn't so good, but it is good for snapping those ratchets, as the rubber causes extra friction with the ratchets, so if you manage to go low enough, you'll be able to get a burst off. 960 is a really light ratchet, but also a really good ratchet. It's mainly used on those stamina and defensive combos, so it's rounded and low shape. That's all I really can say about 960, but now for the bit. Well, Rush. It's, where did I leave it? It's a lot like low flat, 1mm lower than the main version. But unlike low flat, low Rush is essentially the same as Rush. Slow controlled movement, yada yada yada. While low flat, it just has a flatter surface area. Anyways, now to do the test launches. Okay. I'll do Hell's Hammer versus Ron Buster first. Okay, Hell's Hammer wins. Over right hand, Hell's Hammer's left spin. Next is going to be Nightmail versus Wizard Rod. Okay, and Wizard Rod wins that. Now for Samurai Saber versus Ghost Circle. But there's also a problem with 080, causing it a bit of an imbalance, which isn't really too good for stamina types, so I don't really suggest using it, because it's also too high for attack types. And Samurai Saber wins that. Now for Dragoon versus Impact Drake. This is gonna be interesting. I think barely pulls that off. And now for the last two, Tara and Tyranno beats. Ooh, extreme finish. Sure, we didn't expect that. I'm gonna be rewatching this video to see that. Anyways, I hope you all have a good day, and I'm signing off.